All right, welcome to the West Milton Council meeting for March 10th, 2026. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Lord, thank you for giving us the opportunity to come together as a representative leadership and give us the wisdom and knowledge and the ease of heart to be able to make the decisions that we need to make today. Lord, we pray that you watch over our citizens and be with us. Amen.
Amen.
First, we'll have a call to order. If we can get a roll call.
Mayor Sauter.
Here.
Mr. Fogel.
Here.
Mr. Todd.
Here.
Ms. Gregory. Here. Mr. Hurst.
Present.
Ms. Metz.
Here.
Ms. Richardson.
Here.
Next, we'll excuse any members absent, but I don't think we have any, do we?
Nope.
Right. Next is approval of minutes for the February 10th regular council meeting and the February 24th council workshop.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February 10th, 2026 regular council meeting and February 24th, 2026 council workshop.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Fogel.
Yes.
Mr. Todd.
Yes.
Ms. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Hurst.
Yes.
Ms. Metz.
Yes.
Ms. Richardson.
Yes.
Mayor Sauters.
Yes. Next, is there any correspondence to council?
There is none.
All right. Is there any comments from citizens regarding tonight's legislation? I see none. Next is CM-26-04.
It's an ordinance amending section 33.66, compensation for planning board members, and section 150.301B, compensation for board of adjustment members.
Do you have any questions or comments? All right, any motions?
I motion we approve CM-26-04.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Fogel.
Yes.
Mr. Todd.
Yes.
Ms. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Hurst.
Yes.
Ms. Metz.
Yes.
Ms. Richardson.
Yes.
Mayor Sauters.
Yes. Next, we have CM-26-08.
It's an ordinance to amend the official zoning map of West Milton as adopted by chapter 150.006 of the West Milton Code of Ordinances.
Any questions or comments? All right, any motions?
Make a motion we pass CM-26-08 as written in red.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Fogel.
Yes.
Mr. Todd.
Yes.
Ms. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Hurst.
Yes.
Ms. Metz.
Yes.
Ms. Richardson.
Yes.
Mayor Sauters.
Yes. Next, we have CM-26-12.
A resolution to replace the air conditioning unit at the water and wastewater office facility. Whereas because of the work and testing done at the water wastewater office, annual temperature control is a necessity. And whereas the current original air conditioning unit at this location is not operational. And whereas this equipment purchase is included in the 2026 capital improvement budget. And whereas the Director of Service is requesting that the council approve the purchase of a new Carrier 2-ton air conditioner to include removal of existing unit and installation of a new unit. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, the council authorizes the purchase of a Carrier R410A air conditioning unit, including installation from the municipal contracted HVAC provider, Right Services, Dayton, Ohio, for an amount of $15,175. Section 2, the council hereby authorizes the Director of Service to execute all the proper documents. Section 3, this resolution will not take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
Any questions or do we have any motions?
I'll make a motion to approve CM-26-12 as written in red.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Fogel.
Yes.
Mr. Todd.
Yes.
Ms. Gregory.
Yes.
Mr. Hurst.
Yes.
Ms. Metz.
Yes.
Ms. Richardson.
Yes.
Mayor Sauters.
Yes. Next is CM-26-13.
A resolution to purchase a leaf collection machine. Whereas maintaining village streets, curbs, and gutters during the fall months is of the utmost importance for our storm sewer system, commuters, and our residents. And whereas although leaves look beautiful on the trees, once they fall to the ground, they create a major issue within municipal streets and gutters. And whereas it is necessary to purchase a new leaf collection machine due to the fact that the current municipal machine utilized to collect these leaves is no longer safe nor efficient due to its age and continued use. And whereas the Director of Service is requesting that the council waive the formal bidding process for this purchase by an affirmative vote of 5 council members pursuant to Section 33.18A9 of the West Milton Codified Ordinances, based on there being only one manufacturer of the desired unit that has worked well for municipal service crews for over 25 years. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, council hereby waives the formal bidding process for this purchase by an affirmative vote of 5 council members pursuant to Section 33.18A9 of the West Milton Codified Ordinances. Section 2, the council authorizes the purchase of a 2026 Leaf Master Leaf Collection Machine with a John Deere diesel engine, an Autex control box that can perform remote operations in the amount of $98,540, which includes the trade-in amount for the existing unit, from Dinkmar Incorporated of Galion, Ohio. Section 3, the council hereby authorizes the Director of Service to execute all the proper documents for said purchase. Section 4, this resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
All right. Is there any questions or, all right, any motions?
I motion we approve resolution, or CM-26-13.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. All right, next we have CM-26-14.
It's a resolution to purchase a zero-turn riding mower for the Parks Department. Whereas the village must maintain a large amount of public parks and right-of-way areas. And whereas having the proper equipment to perform this maintenance is paramount for staff. And whereas the cost of this replacement mower has been significantly reduced due to the State of Ohio bidding program. And whereas the purchase of this equipment is part of the State of Ohio Cooperative Purchasing Program and follows the West Milton Codified Ordinance 33.18 purchasing. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, the council approves the purchase of a 2026 Hustler Super ZHD 38.5 zero-turn mower with upgraded wheel tires for incline safety at a cost of $17,525.32 from Wagner Power Equipment, Inglewood, Ohio. Section 2, council authorizes the Director of Service to execute all the proper documents required to complete said purchase. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
All right, any discussion? All right, any motions?
I'll make a motion to approve CM 26-14 as written and read.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. Next is CM-26-15.
A resolution authorizing the municipal manager to enter into a contract with the Ohio Department of Transportation regarding a systemic safety grant. Whereas due to the increasing number of injury accidents, the municipality has found an urgent need to enhance the safety at the intersection of South Miami Street at the intersection of Frederick Garland Road. And whereas it has been determined that the most cost-effective way to complete this project is through the Ohio Department of Transportation Systemic Safety Funding and submitting a grant application. And whereas the municipal manager will be submitting this grant application. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the Village of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, the West Milton municipal manager is hereby authorized to complete and submit the systemic safety grant application with the assistance of ODOT. Section 2, the municipal manager will ask ODOT to complete the final plans for the intersection improvements and offer that the municipality pay 10% of the total project costs. The cost for the intersection safety improvements is estimated to be a total of $3,177,228 and includes right-of-way acquisition, construction engineering, environmental design, materials, and construction. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force upon passage.
Any discussion? All right, any motions?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve CM-26-15.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. Next is CM-26-16.
A resolution to approve emergency repairs at the wastewater treatment plant. Whereas it is necessary to replace a 20 HP VFD pump that serves at the wastewater treatment plant. And whereas after much searching, staff finally located a compatible pump. And whereas due to this emergency, the Director of Service is asking council to waive the formal bidding process pursuant to section 33.1889 of the West Milton Codified Ordinances. And whereas the project will be funded out of the 2026 operating budget, capital projects. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, council hereby waives the formal bidding process for this purchase by an affirmative vote of 5 council members pursuant to Section 33.1889 of the West Milton Codified Ordinances. Section 2, the council approves the purchase of one 20 HP Modi submersible pump from Process Pump and Seal of Cincinnati, Ohio, for a purchase amount of $26,350. Section 3, the council authorizes the Director of Service to execute all the proper documents required and to complete said purchase. Section 4, this resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
Any discussion? Any motions?
I'll make a motion to approve CM 26-16 as written and read.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. Next, we have CM-26-17.
The resolution to contract with Choice One Engineering for the 2026-2027 school area traffic improvement project. Whereas it is necessary to make improvements on streets near the school campus to aid in better motorist and pedestrian safety and better traffic flows, specifically Haskett Road. And whereas engineering services are needed for but not limited to the following: topographic survey, site design, utility equipment relocation, and construction bidding procedures. And whereas the project will be funded out of the 2026 operating budget street capital funds. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, the council authorizes the Director of Service to contract with Choice One Engineering, Sydney, Ohio, for a price not to exceed $35,000. Section 2, the Director of Service is hereby authorized to execute all the proper documents and contracts required to complete said program. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
Any discussion?
I just want to say thank you, Ben, for continuing pushing this forward. I feel like this has been a discussion since I've been on, at least since I've been on council, and I just am excited to see this continue to move forward.
Yes. I do have one question. Did all of council see the original draft plan that was put together? I thought I sent it out on an email after the last meeting. I know Councilor Fogel, did you get a copy of it?
I believe so, but
Okay.
don't quote me.
Yeah, I think I sent it out, but if anybody still needs one, please let me know.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I motion we approve Resolution CM 26-17.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. Next, CM-26-18.
A resolution authorizing the donation of $10,000 to Project Revival Incorporated for the 2026 Rock the Hill event held in the village of West Milton, Ohio. Whereas Rock the Hill is an annual event held in the village of West Milton that brings together West Milton families, businesses, and neighbors. And whereas Project Revival Incorporated, an Ohio 501c3 corporation, is the entity that organizes the event and is responsible for the expenses associated with the event. And whereas in order to continue the Rock the Hill event, which has become a highly anticipated event for the residents of West Milton over the past several years, council believes it to be in the best interest of the village to donate $10,000 towards the cost of this event for the year 2026. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, council authorizes the donation of $10,000 to Project Revival Incorporated towards the cost of the 2026 Rockland Hill event. Section 2, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force upon passage.
Any discussion? Any motions?
Motion, we accept CM-26-18 as written and read.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Abstain.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. Next, we have CM-26-19.
A resolution authorizing the donation of $20,000 to West Milton Community Celebrations Incorporated for the West Milton fireworks display for the 2026 4th of July celebration. Whereas the Village of West Milton donates a sum of money each year to help with the cost of the fireworks displayed for the 4th of July celebration. And whereas West Milton Community Celebrations Incorporated, an Ohio 501c3 corporation, will be responsible for the fireworks display for the 2026 4th of July celebration. And whereas in order to continue this celebration that has been a tradition for the residents of West Milton for many years, council believes it to be in the best interest of the village to donate $20,000 towards the fireworks display. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the Village of West Milton, Ohio, as Section 1, council authorizes the donation of $20,000 to West Milton Community Celebrations Incorporated for the cost of the fireworks display for the 2026 4th of July celebration. Section 2, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force upon passage.
Any discussion? Any motions?
A motion, we accept resolution CM 26-19.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Abstain because I'm on the committee now, apparently.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
And Mayor Sodders?
Yes. All right, next, we have CM-26-20.
It's a proclamation designating April 2026 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas America's children are the foundation of our families, the heirs of our freedom, and the stewards of our national promise. And whereas children are vital to our state's future success, prosperity, and quality of life, as well as being our most vulnerable assets. And whereas all children deserve to have safe, stable, nurturing homes and communities, they need to foster their healthy growth and development. And whereas positive childhood experiences, like loving caregivers and safe, stable, and nurturing relationships, can help mitigate trauma and the negative impact of adverse childhood experiences to promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, is a serious problem affecting every community, and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas we acknowledge that to solve the public health issue of abuse and neglect, we must work together to change hearts and mindsets through storytelling and sharing, center the needs of families, break down bias and barriers, and inspire action from expected and unexpected partners. And whereas the West Milton Council is committed to advancing equitable, responsive, and effective systems that ensure all children and families are healthy and thriving, the West Milton Municipal Council recognizes the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month within the municipality of West Milton. Now therefore be it resolved that Section 1, the Council of West Milton hereby honors the month of April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in West Milton. Together we can build a narrative of hope for children and families through collaboration and the creation of an environment of prevention. Section 2, this proclamation shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
Any discussion? Any motions?
I'll make a motion to approve CM 26-20 as written and read.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. Next, we have CM-26-21.
It's a resolution to adopt an employee dishonesty and faithful performance policy. Whereas the municipality of West Milton in Miami County is a member of the Public Entities Pool, a public subdivision risk pool established pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, hereinafter ORC 2744.081. And whereas House Bill 291 was signed into law on December 20th, 2018, and became effective March 20th, 2019, authorizing the use of an employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty policy instead of individual surety bonds for trustees, employees, and appointees who are otherwise required by law to acquire a bond before entering upon the discharge of duties. And whereas in accordance with ORC 3.061, the political subdivisions, meaning counties, townships, municipal corporations, including villages and cities, must adopt a policy by resolution to allow the use of an employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty coverage document, rather than a surety bond to cover loss by fraudulent or dishonest actions of employees and failure of employees to faithfully perform duties. The following shall apply to the policy. Number 1, an officer, employee, or appointee shall be considered qualified to hold the office or employment without acquiring a bond on the date the oath of office is taken, certified and filed as required by law. Number 2, an officer, employee, or appointee shall have the employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty policy in effect before the individual's term of office or employment, and the officer, employee, or appointee shall not commence the discharge of duties until coverage is documented. Number 3, all officers, employees, or appointees who would otherwise be required to file a bond before commencing the discharge of duty shall be covered by and are subject to the employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty policy instead of a surety bond requirement. Number 4, the coverage amount for an officer, employee, or appointee under an employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty policy shall be equal to or greater than the maximum amount of the bond otherwise required by law. Number 5, elected officials prior to taking the oath of office and holding office shall obtain approval of the intent to use the PEP coverage agreement and affirm that the public entity's coverage complies with ORC 3.061. Said approval shall be obtained by the municipality of West Milton. Whereas the municipality of West Milton's employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty policy through the PEP coverage document complies with ORC 3.061. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, Council hereby authorizes the Municipality of West Milton to purchase and use the employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty policy through PEP instead of individual surety bonds for officers, employees, and appointees who are otherwise required by law to acquire a bond before entering upon the discharge of duties. Section 2, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force upon passage.
Any discussion?
So, from everything that I've seen with the email traffic, this is a 15% higher cost roughly with the casualty insurance. Is that correct?
Well, she responded to me either Friday or yesterday that it is actually going to be lower. $50-ish.
Oh.
We won't know the full price until we can actually get this submitted for the.
Okay. And then ultimately then reading through this and trying to understand all of this, how it works, each employee will have to sign or agree to the policy itself, and so you'll have to draft something up, or the insurance company will provide that they'll have to, everyone will have to sign that and accept that, correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thanks.
Any motions?
I motion we accept CM-26-21.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. All right. Next, we have CM-26-22.
It's a resolution to replace the security fence located at the south water tower. Whereas it is necessary to replace the failing security fence around the south water tower at 140 Emmerich Road. And whereas 3 quotes have been obtained for this project, and whereas the expense of this project is accounted for in the 2026 operating budget. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, Council awards a contract to Superior Fence and Rail of Cincinnati, Ohio, in the amount of $15,900.50. Section 2, the municipal manager is hereby authorized to execute all the proper documents and contracts required to complete said program. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage.
Any discussion? And-
Ben, did we replace some of the fencing on the north side, or was it on the south side? Seemed like the last time we did it.
Last year, we actually put the first fence around the north tower. It didn't have any.
Oh, okay.
And that was obviously a big recommendation for tightening up security around water assets. So we put last year we fenced the north tower. And this is, as far as I know, this is the original fence from the 60s.
Wow.
Because, I mean, we haven't replaced it since I've been here. And I think it looked old then. So it's held up, I guess, pretty well, but it definitely needs replaced. So.
Yeah. How many feet of fencing was that?
I'd have to look back at the quote.
Okay, no worries.
It's a lot.
Okay, it's a lot. Yeah, that's a
It's
ballpark.
so it'll be the fencing goes clear over because that whole area back there, we store some things back there, and then the old 911 building that used to do like the radio equipment's still back there, and then we just have room for extra storage if we need it. But then there's one gate. There's 3 strands of barbed wire, which so I can get you guys that number, but it's a lot.
All right, yeah, that's fine. I was
Okay.
just wondering if it was just like one little section or if
Yeah.
it was a lot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, awesome, thank you. No more questions.
All right. Any motions?
A motion we accept CM-26-22.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. We also have another one, CM-26-23.
It's a month of the Military Child Proclamation. Whereas the Department of Defense has consistently acknowledged the vital role of military children and youth, and whereas these resilient young individuals demonstrate unwavering commitment, adaptability, and courage in the face of unique challenges, and whereas military children contribute significantly to the strength and resilience of our military families and communities, and whereas their sacrifices often go unnoticed, yet they play an essential role in supporting the military's mission. And whereas the month of the military child provides an opportunity to celebrate their achievements, honor their past, cherish the present, and shape a brighter future. And therefore, let it be known that we recognize and appreciate the contribution of military children and youth, and we commit to providing them with quality care and positive youth development. And be it resolved that the mayor of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, does hereby declare April 2026 as Month of the Military Child, and calls upon the individual citizens, government agencies, churches, and civic organizations in our village and Union Township to observe the month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities as a way to bring our mission and vision into reality.
Any discussions?
I just have one quick question, and I'm not arguing this, but why is it written that the mayor of the municipality, not just the whole municipality? I'm just curious.
I was the one that put it together. It came in really late, and I just basically, we're gonna have to put it on a legal form with the number.
I was just
And,
curious.
yeah.
I was like, this is just
They
different than what I see. That's all I
sent us a
asked.
script, kind of.
Yeah,
I think
that
that's the
makes
way it
sense.
was written on there.
I think this is amazing, and I learned that there are 14 children in our school system that their parents are deployed right now, and so I think this is a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah. All right, so since we still have to change it, we still
Can we go ahead and pass it? or-
go ahead and pass it, right?
Yeah, you can
All right.
pass it.
I'll make a motion that we pass CM-26-23
Yeah.
as read.
Second.
Roll call?
Excuse me, Mr. Fogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. All right, next we have the manager's report.
Yeah. First off, I want to thank the council for having faith in me to lead us through this interim period. This will be the 3rd time and most likely the last. But thank you very much. I'm not really a placeholder kind of guy. I mean, I just feel like we just need to keep moving forward as fast as we can on these things. And if there's ever anything that council would like to wait on until a new manager is appointed, I will not be offended by that, but until I hear otherwise, we're just going to keep everything pushing forward. Today, I talked to Lene, and we got the Miami County Board of Elections. The proof was approved for the police and fire levy on the May 5th ballot. I think it's Lene. We also, Ms. Brosh is also reviewing the real estate agreement from the school. Superintendent Ritchie sent over the draft agreement, and I believe Ms. Brosh has some questions on it, and once she gets it done and reviewed, then we'll hopefully have it maybe for the workshop for everybody. And then we'll try to get any changes on it marked beforehand, and if not, we can just bring them to the workshop if that's okay. All of the members of the Personnel Board have received the committee's final draft and the revised personnel rules. I believe we still need to look at it, and I want to meet with Lene on it if there's anything else that needs to be looked at. The Personnel Board, I figured we could meet maybe in the next week, 2 weeks probably, to just see how they're doing and see if they're ready to schedule a meeting to review them, the staff, and then mainly after that bring them to council. So I'll keep you guys posted on that.
So I just have one comment, and I've been thinking about this a lot because I know this is something that a lot of people in the village put a lot of time and effort into, and things have been delayed with it, unfortunately, different circumstances. However, just trying to think smartly, and I know this is something that I've asked about a lot, but the more I thought about it, is it smart? Is it the best way forward to push it through at this point before a new city manager would be brought in and hired? I envision, we've got a lot of applications to go through and narrow down to, a certain number to look at, whatever that number is, and to ultimately hire someone. I know it's been sitting out there for a long time, but is it something that we provide to the personnel policy or the personnel board, let them take a good look at it, but then still kind of hold our ground until a new city manager comes in? Because, depending on their experience, their background, what have you, there might be some integral parts to it where they have some additional good input. So I'm just trying to think smartly and think ahead. I don't know what the rest of council thinks.
I agree with that, Scott. I think we should get input from whoever the next manager ends
we're
up
talking about, at this point, unfortunately, things have been dragging for a long time, but if we can work to get someone hired in the next couple months, it doesn't hurt, I don't think, to at least let the personnel board look at what's drafted out there. It's pretty large. It's what, 80, 90 pages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
70?
I can't remember now.
So I'm sure it's going to take them a bit of time to review it, but that's just my thought process, thinking about a new city manager coming in place.
Yeah, because ultimately it's up to him to enforce or how he wants to handle the personnel policy or something like that.
Right.
So, yeah, you're probably right, Scott. Having him look over it and be like, oh, no, I wouldn't do that or something like that might be,
Might be beneficial.
Perfect.
Yep.
I mean, depending on, like I said, background experience, what have you. I know this is something that you've wanted to get in place for a long time because it helps ultimately across the board with the employees and personnel here that works for the village. But I don't know, Lene, from your background experience, what would be your...
Clearly, it's up to council how you want to handle it. Once the personnel board reviews it, it goes back to the manager anyway. So if you, which now would be Ben, but if you want to wait, you can always stall that process and wait for that person to review it.
Well, I don't think it hurts that, they at least get their eyes on it. Like I said, it's 70-some pages. It's going to take them some time to get through that, and depending on what type of comments they have, those are going to have to be adjudicated, fixed, what have you, that type of thing. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time to work through that process anyways. So, my 2 cents.
That's good. Thank you.
My only question that I would pose, and I think that's a really good perspective to make sure the new city manager would have the ability to look at that. The only question I have would be, what would the implications be of waiting? So is there a negative impact for causing a further delay?
We've waited this long.
What's your thought with that, Mr.
I mean,
Hand?
we're talking, it has sat for a long time. And, of course, we've been wanting to not push it through. We've been wanting to get it done. But if council would rather wait to have the new manager look at it, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think from my perspective, it makes sense to have the personnel board look at it, and then when it comes back, we can also, I think, reevaluate at that time, see where we're at in bringing on a new city manager and reevaluate, because I do think it makes sense and there would be a benefit for the new city manager to be able to review that.
Because the way things are written in the charter, it goes to the personnel board, then it ultimately goes back to the city manager, then it comes to us for final approval. So,
Chief, did you?
go ahead, Chief.
The only thing, as being the head of this committee that worked on this for almost 12 months, the perspective that the policy or the revisions looked at really wasn't from a city manager's perspective. The policies that the personnel rules we had in place were rather loose. Some of them left to a lot of interpretation and left it open for someone to interpret in many, many ways. So we spent time looking at a large number of communities that were similar in size that had revised theirs in recent years. And the purpose of that was to take a look at what was best practices and what was looked at when it comes to fair treatment of everybody, so that there's kind of ground rules no matter where you work. Now, the police department is a little bit different from the standpoint, our policies are a little tighter than what you currently have, even as these personnel rules. But the rules that we have put out there are very much more stringent than they were before, to leave some of that interpretation out of it. Because we felt as a committee, if you leave it to interpretation, it can be interpreted many different ways, and one employee can be treated differently than another employee for the same similar infraction. So we tried to tighten those up in this. So my whole thing is, I don't know a new city manager coming in is going to have the opportunity to right away look at these. We're still going to be pushing this can down the road and kicking it down the road quite a few months if that's the case. So we're still going to be working under rules that have not been adequate for quite some time. A lot of the things that are changing with time, we put as addendums in the back of that personnel rules so that they could be changed without having to go back to get the personnel board to look at it, the city manager to look at it, and the council to look at it, such as electronics. Electronics change so often, and our current personnel rules really doesn't address that. The new one is a lot more stringent so that people aren't doing things that we read about in the newspaper on a daily basis. So that's just one example of a lot of stuff we put in the addendum in the back so that we didn't have to go back each time and have council review those. As things changed and needed to be updated, we could do that to stay current with the times. That's my 2 cents worth on this. I think that's what we're looking at. Miss Brosh sat with us the whole time. She was at all of our meetings. She knows what our thought process was. It was not for one individual person. It was as a whole, and we tried to look into the future. Who's after us that this is going to apply to, and it lays a good ground rule for that person coming in the door.
Very good.
That's
Thanks.
my thoughts.
Okay.
I think it's one of those things that's been, it's been worked on a lot. I'm not sure if the previous manager reviewed it or not. Like, I don't have, if somebody can clarify that. I think he did. Okay. So I feel like there were lots of people that have reviewed it. Apparently it went to the P&L carrier, it's been through our attorney, and just my opinion is if this was just one thing that we can get done, it's like taking that thing off the plate. And I feel like our staff worked really hard at doing this, and they spent a lot of hours putting this together. And I feel like, just like Ben said, just continuing to keep moving forward that's my opinion. But I do understand the side of having a new city manager review it. But I also, I feel like it's been reviewed for almost 2 years.
Is health, safety, life in jeopardy if we do not do things right away?
No.
Is there something where the city could be in a position of a liability for something that, I mean, because a lot of policies, just like the police policies, does that come to council? Probably not, right? It's like something you guys set in place. Just like Ben could probably be like, all right, guys, it's not written anywhere, but no cell phones when you're in the, city vehicles, right? It's like they should never be out kind of thing, right? He could set those himself. So I don't see any reason to rush, but at the same time, if we did, it's been vetted. So I guess I just talked a lot to say absolutely nothing. You guys are welcome for joining me in my headspace.
So question since all the members of the Personnel Board have received the final draft of the revised personnel rules draft that you provided, one question I have, there was a comment from the insurance carrier to include some type of mission statement. Was that provided?
I can't answer that.
The mission statement was provided, yes.
Okay, so that has been included.
Yes.
Okay,
Mr.
so
Barron sent those on, so.
okay, so when you gave that to the personnel board, the 3-member board, how much time did you give them to review? Did you put a timetable
Yeah,
when
I
you would
told
like?
them that we were going to look at giving it to them for a couple weeks, but then I would be calling them a little bit before that time period to see how they're doing. And then if they needed more time, then fine. If not, then we could go ahead and set the meeting. I just didn't want to set the meeting and make them feel rushed.
Right.
And I mean, so I think what you're kind of alluding to is we could certainly, when we get it back from them, it would give you guys some time to think about it. And then we can see how the timeline shakes out, go from there.
Yeah, let's see what, if everyone else in council, I'll just throw this out there. We have a workshop in 2 weeks. Let's see where we're at the workshop, if they've got some significant comments back, what input they might have. And then we can talk about it more there, see where we're at, and go from there.
Yeah, and I think an overview too, from what Chief Wright said, is if you adopt them, as we changed them, because we went through them for a long period of time. I mean, if you adopt them as a whole, that's not to say a new manager couldn't change a section, if they deem necessary. But I mean, Manager Sheridan gave it to us for a reason. Typically, the manager, I don't think, really writes a personnel policy. It's more like HR, which we don't really have. But I'm just throwing this out there that if we wanted to get the updated plans at least in place, then the new manager could have a couple months when they got up to speed and review them, and making changes obviously isn't that difficult. We've got a good personnel board. They were all ready to go, and I don't think they would mind going through small parts of this again, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Especially if it's just minor changes, which I would suspect it wouldn't be major things that a new city manager would want to change to begin with. Because myself personally, having been in government for 39 years, I think probably a new city manager coming in is going to be excited about the fact we've just recently updated the personnel rules and the things that we have put into those, to be honest with you.
Very good. Thanks.
Fair.
I think the last I have was, let's see. The planning board they have copies of the entire comprehensive plan, and I know they're reviewing it. They broke it up into sections or sections. So we're going to be reviewing that with the planning board. Staff and council they're beginning to purchase the equipment for the new Founders Park. So we can get some equipment coming and try to get the park taking shape.
Thank you, Ben.
Oh, yeah.
This is very exciting.
Yes. Lastly, going to meet with Choice One this week to start talking about the plans and drafts for the 571 ODOT grant project for the crosswalks. We're getting into the actual planning phase, and I hope to be able to start bringing some maps and/or plans and estimates to council.
Do you want to go over the service center? Skip over that.
Oh, yeah. I forgot something. The service center improvements, we got the revised plans draft actually today, and I sent them to Tim Schwartzschreiber's been helping me out, picking up some of the projects, and then Steve Stock. So we'll look at those, and I'll keep you guys posted.
I just have one question for you. What's the status in the park with the new building that, we've been waiting on that's going to go down there where the old baseball field was at?
The restroom.
Yes.
It's still supposed to be here around May. The pad is completely ready. The utilities have been tied in. They'll drop the building right down over where the utilities are coming in, and meeting with the electrician next week to look at that and the downtown electric. We had some issues. We need to run some more electric down there, and then we'll have some new sidewalk, like ADA sidewalk, will be put in front of that building too.
Oh, wow. That's great. So one thing somebody else brought up to me, and it makes sense, but I don't know what happened at the time, why maybe that entrance area wasn't updated. Going into the entrance to the park, everything was done with the rock wall and the beautiful fence that's there, but you got that old entrance going into the park that is just junky.
The park side.
Yeah, it's just, I wonder, has there been any talk about changing that, improving that?
That's actually part of downtown strategies and some of the plan that they've put together.
Okay.
So a lot of just how you connect that asset at the park to the downtown, and kind of like, can we make some sort of corridor with either artwork or signage or updating park entrance. So that's definitely kind of in that plan.
Good.
We don't have plans yet, but it's being
in the talk.
considered. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
The ADA walk too, for the pavilion, if we end up, once we get the pavilion farther along with the boards, really feels like we should add that into the project. So you'd have parking, and then you would have like that ADA walk that goes into the park. Well, that kind of took care of that entrance too. When we were originally looking at that entrance would have been reconfigured for the ADA walk going down the park. So along with that project, I think the walk needs to happen, because you're going to be bringing people in from up above, and you don't want to have people drive down the park just to get to the park.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to try to add that along with parking.
Very good.
Are you going to do an ADA walk from the top of the hill down the hill?
Yeah, so the walk actually would come out onto the wall. It would serpentine down in a grade that was acceptable. And one of the reasons why the concession stand, when it comes down and the restroom building is going to be farther down, that gives us that much more room to add for the grade for that walk going down.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
So where that plumbing stub up is in the park now, where the baseball field was, that's where the new restroom's going, right?
Yes.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and it's out of the way for the pavilion. But we need a way for people to get down the park.
Yeah, I know my mom can't get down those stairs. Like, she's capable, but she's not able to get down those big stairs, so they just come in a park, but that would be amazing.
There are times I think I'm not going to get back up.
I feel that way every time I go down that hill. I look up that hill and I'm like, we don't want to do this, but I have to.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, any old business? All right, any new business?
I have just one thing, new business. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to make a comment. Unfortunately, last week, Alice Martin passed away. Lifelong Miltonian, loved this village, loved the school. She was always known as the Bulldog Mom. I graduated with her son, Jeff. I just went to the viewing tonight, but huge loss with the community. Alice was always the type that she spoke her mind. She would tell you how she felt about certain things, but she also gave you a ton of praise when she thought things were being done the right way. So heavy heart, but she's in a better place now and not suffering. So just wanted to pass that along, and thoughts and prayers with the family.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
My thing is not as important. So Saturday, Mayor Saunders, Vice Mayor Gregory, and I were able to meet with a couple representatives of the Dayton Dragons. They approached us with a potential fundraiser idea, a couple different programs they're running. And we had a really productive conversation. Not everything's exactly nailed down yet. The plan is like 90%, formalized, but hopefully by our workshop we have more details to share and can start kind of advertising and doing something, but think along the lines of West Milton Night at the Dayton Dragons. So more details to come.
That's cool.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have one thing. So I recently joined, I was invited by Chief Wright to join the Rotary in West Milton. And there are dues, and I was just wanting to open the discussion about the village paying those dues. I'm not sure how everybody feels about it, but it's something I can pay, but it would be helpful. I do a lot with the Chamber of Commerce in Troy, and I pay for a lot of those expenses personally. And I guess I have to be appointed to be a representative there. So I don't know if we could, like, how we have that discussion.
I appreciate everything you do on behalf of West Milton for Miami County, so I'm in favor of another representative for West Milton at Rotary. So you need a nomination from then to Chamber
It's
too?
like- Scott Hurst has to explain it because I don't fully understand.
Well, I mean, if someone goes and represents council, normally it's like with Scott Fogel, when he goes to the Life Squad board, council come together and said, all right, we need a representative, and we chose a representative, and then, appointed them to that position. And then that way he can fully represent us. Whereas if we just run out and do everything ourselves without like council's approval, then, we could be out representing council everywhere, anywhere, without the rest of council knowing or even approving. So it just formalizes, is what I was trying to explain, is that it would formalize that you are our representative. We recognize that fact and, are contributing to that.
Yep.
How do we do that?
I think there would have to be, just like with the Union Township Life Squad, with the Miami Southwest Joint Ambulance Board, we'd have to have a nomination from someone that be seconded, and then we would have to have a similar type of resolution at a future meeting to put that in place to go from there, because ultimately it's the same thing. I'm on that board as the voice for the village of West Milton, and I'm supposed to then be providing that update to all of you because you're not at the meeting. So
Right.
I would expect the same type of thing from Sarah with the Rotary.
Well, my only concern with it was we already have multiple staff members attending Rotary that we pay to attend, and then obviously share any vital information. So I'm not sure why we would go out of the ordinary to have a third covered by the taxpayer.
Who's the current members that are on Rotary?
Myself and the city manager,
Yourself, okay,
we're the only two that attend.
gotcha. So
Do we need additional? in your opinion?
How many members are there altogether?
For Rotary, Rotary varies because it's mostly business owners in town or municipal employees that attend Rotary and pay their dues there. So there's a wide variety, like Jim Sarver is the longest, one of the longest standing members. He's been a member of Rotary 50 years. We actually have Rotary at his place at the Hale House. Is where it's hosted every other week. It's on the same weeks as council. So it varies. There's only about 20 people, 25 at the most, that ever shows up on a good day.
I see our work with downtown strategies and trying to connect with the business owners as a huge positive, that if it's not something that we have a council representative for years and years and years and years to come, but at this point where we're trying to build those bonds and have those relationships and reach out to those business owners to try to get them on board with our plan, I think it would be good just to have those contacts and have Sarah there.
That's normally why we have the manager, though.
I said, now we'd be 15, 20% of the Rotary Board.
What?
I said, now we would be like 15% of the Rotary Board, just the city.
That's how we grow things and organizations in our community, is by recruiting other people, also like inviting others to join.
But
I would just like to add with that, I think it's a really good point, especially what we're doing with retail strategies, that I see your point that we may not always need that many people there, but there's a lot of work happening with retail strategies. Sarah, I know you're doing a lot with retail strategies, so I think it would be a good point to have somebody who's also working really deeply with retail strategies, knows what's going on, also representing us in Rotary, building those contacts, especially as we're looking to grow West Milton.
yeah, I mean, I hear all that. I guess from my viewpoint, I don't want to spend taxpayer money flippantly. So, and we are talking about $230 to be clear. It's not a gargantuan amount of money.
Yeah.
But I brought up this point too. If I wanted to join a club and say that I represented West Milton for whatever end, say I wanted to recruit business in a club where there were business people, am I just supposed to come and ask for you to pay my dues?
I mean, I think if you're working with retail strategies and you're working for things in the municipality, I think that it warrants bringing up the question, and I think that's what the discussion's for.
Okay.
And maybe a suggestion, we do it for a year, see how things transpire. Input that maybe Sarah is bringing to the table with retail strategies for the next year, because we have them on contract for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
See how things go for a year, and then reevaluate it before the beginning of next year. So thought process.
I think that's a really great idea, and then we can evaluate the relationships being built, what's happening in retail strategies, and go from there and determine if that's something we want to continue.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion.
We have comments by citizens.
Oh,
There's another agenda item before we go into executive.
No, he's saying,
no.
yeah,
I was gonna.
But what if I want to be on Rotary?
yes, we have to open the floor for motion.
Oh, I
Who
thought we
wants
were
to be-
discussing.
Oh, I meant
thought he didn't
for
finish his
whoever we want to
sentence.
appoint.
Oh, well, I'm just saying that we didn't ask everyone's desire to be
Right.
on. You know what I mean?
We got
Shouldn't we gauge? I mean, you are in a lot. If you were to have somebody come along and sweep you off your feet and take you to Florida or California or Hawaii someplace, we're going to be in a real big lurch, right? Because
Have you met me?
Yeah,
Do you know my personality? That's not gonna happen.
everyone said it wouldn't happen. Yeah. Could it not? Or to go the more grim route, you get hit by a bus crossing the road in Troy, which is normally what they say to us at work when they're doing the DR stuff. Is you get hit by a bus truck, what happens? So I was trying to be more positive that someone swept you off your feet, took you to a exotic land of some sort.
think the question is does anybody else have an interest in doing Rotary in conjunction with retail strategies?
I do
Does it have
not.
to be in conjunction?
I mean,
Is that a
I
requirement?
don't think
Prerequisite?
necessarily, but there's a lot happening in retail strategies. I do think that there's a facet of, there's a lot of documentation in retail strategies and a lot going on over there. So I do think there is a benefit. Do I think it's a requirement? Maybe not, but I do feel that there's a benefit there for that.
Yeah.
But so I guess the question is does anybody else want to join the Rotary?
No.
I always wanted to join the Rotary.
I mean, I think that, so this is branching out now. Now we're getting into a separate whole thing. But I think a lot of the exclusivity regarding this whole retail strategies thing is concerning to me. Like, there's a lot of information that, like we talked about it kind of before the meeting. There's a lot of information none of us have. I told you, outside looking in, I'm seeing 75 grand go down because I don't know what's happening. And where's the communication? So it might be easier for me to say, like, absolutely, I see the progress, I see the reason, if I saw retail strategies progressing.
Well, you're welcome to join.
Why can't you just report that to the council? What is the structure here?
Well, first of all, there's quite a significant amount of data. So a very significant amount, and I know many of you know personally that my bandwidth this week's been a little bit low to report back, but I would be more than happy to bring a report back.
Not you
don't
personally.
think-
I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
Not
I
you
don't think
personally.
it'll be my next. Well, I'm on retail strategies too, so I do just as much as Sarah does. I've been at the meetings, I've been in the in-person meetings, so I can also report back information. So I'd be happy to do that, and I think there's a benefit.
Yeah, I think
there.
we'd like to see that, because
Yeah.
for a year now, all we've seen is a redacted list of, we talked to a grocery store, they said no. We talked to a pizza chain, they said no, and that's it. For a whole year of, so we'd like to see what's.
It'd make it
happening.
easier to justify the cost.
Yeah, absolutely, and I
It's
think-
not dogging retail strategies, we just don't know.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really good stuff that we can bring back. I'd be happy to bring stuff to. Well, I don't know if I'll get it done by workshop. I won't make that promise.
And it don't have to
but-
be you.
You're not the only one
Just-
on it.
right.
Yeah, you're fine.
But I do think that it would be great to bring information and
Yeah.
share what's happening.
Put it at the
And
workshop.
yeah, we can, Sarah, if you want to, we can get together and go through because there is a significant amount of data.
Yeah, and we
happening.
have gone over it in past meetings. So there's the retail side and the downtown side. So the retail side, they have contacts, they have been here, we have toured the village. I took the day off work on my birthday to spend time with the day with retail strategies. They have worked with a commercial realtor. They are working with Ron Kaufman and Stillwater Crossings. They are working with all those people. They kind of stay in the background and then give us like a quarterly report of here's what we've done. They have been to conferences. They are getting ready to go to ICSC in Las Vegas in May to represent us, which saves the village. I mean, last year, I don't know what was spent, but it was in the thousands of dollars for Mr. Sheridan and I to go to Las Vegas. So that saves us money because they're out there recruiting for us. They are the economic development team for West Milton right now. So they are working behind the scenes. I'm not in contact with them every single day because they are diligently working, setting meetings, having conversations. The downtown side is different. So the downtown side is much more actively involved. There is a report that I honestly was thinking about this last night, but I haven't read it yet, and I have to read it very, very soon. But there's a downtown report of they came and we took a day. We had a whole meeting here. It was a public meeting with business owners. Everyone in the public was invited to be here, and that was in the fall, right? Because it was kind of chilly.
Yeah.
And so that was in the fall, and we did a whole tour downtown. They gave us some really good ideas. We just had a presentation recently of the different ideas that they had, and they've got like a formal strategy that we're working through.
Yeah, and some of the businesses that were there at that meeting have already implemented some of the ideas. So some of the really quick ideas was signage downtown, and I don't know if anyone's been downtown and seen some of the updates when you walk down. But a lot of the businesses that were there were just really interested in there was really simple implementation, things that could be done immediately, quickly, and at little cost. And a lot of the businesses have already made that progress. And then there were other pieces that are long-term plans and where we want to go, and that's some of the report that they're working on as well.
Okay, how about this? Because we could talk about this probably for a while. How about we table this for discussion more at the workshop, provide some details with retail strategies and what they're working, and then revisit. We'll talk more about Sarah being possible member from council that is attending the Rotary meetings, and whether or not we fund that or not, and make a nomination, what have you. Let's revisit it then, if that's okay with everybody. Sound good?
Any more new business? All right. Are there any comments by citizens?
You know, channeling the spirit of Alice Martin, who would not resist the opportunity to say something, I think you should put 3 people on the Rotary, and Scott mentioned it, Levi mentioned it, Sarah mentioned it. You can't have 4 because that would be a quorum. But I think all 3 of you guys would be great there, and it would be a worthwhile investment for the village for you guys to be there and be a part of that.
Rotary would love it. They're looking for new members.
I champion the idea. I think it would be a great opportunity. On the personnel board action, you know, we're putting a lot of emphasis on a person instead of a process, and we have a process, so trust your process. I think Mr. Herron mentioned that the next city manager would have time to look at it, see what's working, what's not, revisit it. It's not undoable, it's not changeable, but you have a process. Trust your process. And thank you for all you guys do. That's what Alice would leave with.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Anybody have the executive thing open? Rob.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to enter executive session pursuant to Section 4.12, Procedure B5, to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of an employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual unless the public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual requests a public hearing.
Second. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Gregory?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
Ms. Metz?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mayor Sodders?
Yes. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thanks.
There'll be no business, right?
Yeah, there'll be no business after this.